3 guys logging minutes for Team Chile. Puerto Rico, it's all spread out. The most their top guy is logging is 23.8 minutes a game. That's Palermo, so they like to rotate guys in and out, and that's how you get depth scoring.
Puerto Rico finished 4th in this tournament in 2016. Chile finished 6th in this tournament, so you know that they're going to want to improve. Coach of Chile is Franco Lara. The coach for Puerto Rico is Omar Gonzalez. And short tournament format, you talk about the energy level of these players. The 3 round robin games, you have to pace yourself. Now you've got to really ratchet up the intensity for what essentially is a one and done.
Absolutely, and I think I have to come back to the minutes for that, because if you're tired, the intensity might not be there, whereas Puerto Rico, they've spread minutes out, and they may be better to go than Chile. Chile has been going 3 guys most of the time, Rubio, Arroyo, and Lorca, so maybe fatigue will come into play here with the intensity sort of maybe being down for one team, up for another, but we'll see as we get things started here.
Puerto Rico will be dressed in the white uniforms with the blue numbers. Chile in the red uniforms. About a minute to go to tip-off time here. I do love how the referees come and shake our hands. They shake everybody's hands at the scorer's table. Great to see them come and shake our hands here. And they've got a difficult job to do.
Yeah, for sure, and that's one thing I've highlighted during the games where I've just been watching them and sort of observing. This tournament has been well officiated. These officials, when the teams get really animated, and I point out the Argentinian coach because he's up and down that sideline mostly the entire game when his team is playing, and these referees have kept the teams in check. We saw Dominican Republic start to get a little bit upset, maybe not with the call, but maybe with some of their players' play during the game, but these referees have kept the teams in check and called really good games.
Argentina booked their spot in the semifinal with an 87-70 victory over the Dominican Republic. They will face the winner of Ecuador and the United States. Chile and Puerto Rico will look to be the second team to qualify for the semifinals and also the World Cup next year. They will face the winner of Canada and Panama. And we're just about ready to go here. Quarterfinal Friday here at the Meridian Center in a wonderful tournament. Competitive basketball. It's great to see elite basketball come to this city and region.
When they've had the tournament, the River Lions are here during the winter. The crowds are out for that, but this tournament has been unbelievable.
Chile with the first possession after they win the tip. Varela. Inside short jumper is up and it's no good. Lorca. Placer back up the other way. Placer, 10 on the shot clock. Gets the ball back. 5 on the shot clock. It's Placer's shot. He's got to look at the basket. Can't make it work, though.
And Placer's a guy we saw get hot in the first game for Puerto Rico in the tournament. Cooled off a little bit. You got to see if they can get him going here early. Arroyo. Step to the basket. Tough move by Alvaro Pimentel. Can't make it go. Placer back up the floor. Pass was forced inside. A little bit of nervous energy for both teams. Kick out. Placer. Open look for 3. Too strong. And I think this might be a feel-out couple of minutes here. These teams not too familiar with each other, so we'll see where things end up after the first 10.
Rubio for Saez. On for Abrelo. Pimentel. Travel. And we're still waiting for our first points. Minute 35 in.
And whether it's, I don't know if you want to call it rust from a day off, because that was probably more of a rest day for these teams, but yeah, not a lot of scoring, just minute and a half in, and we saw that in Puerto Rico's first game in the tournament. They led Panama 6-0 for a good chunk of that first quarter.
Here's Placer, 10.3 points a game in the preliminaries. Vasquez, ball on the floor, right baseline jumper halfway down and kick back up. Morello Arroyo. Pimentel off the curl. Up top it goes for Maxwell Lorca. Saez, step to the basket, kick out. Pimentel, he's got to look for three, and it's too strong. And trying to force his way in was Maxwell Lorca, and the ball is turnover.
Pimentel in the group stage, 42% from the field. Well, you could say 43% from the field. Not the greatest three-point shooter, so I don't know if that's a shot he really wants to take in a situation like this where there's no points on the board.
Placer up top. Vasquez back for Placer, 10 on the shot clock. Vasquez, guarded by Arroyo. On the block. Torres driving, strong move, goes to the reverse, no. Tip, no, they bat it around. And it's going to be a shot clock violation as the ball never touched the rim.
Great defense from Team Chile there. You saw a couple of their players after that shot clock expired, clapping their hands like they're into it defensively, so they just have to roll that into great offense, try and get points on the board.
Up top it goes. Lorca hands it off. Rubio, shot by Arroyo is no good. Still we remain scoreless 3 minutes into the first quarter. Palermo, Torres, Placer, Condit for three, and it's good.
George Condit has had an unbelievable tournament for Puerto Rico. Stands at 6'10", uses his size to his advantage. But why not? He had an open three and he took it.
Such is the nature of basketball today. A 6'10" guy who can shoot the ball. And Lorca will drive in and score two to get Chile on the board.
He averaged 16 points during the round robin play.
Vasquez, strong take and the score. And now the teams are getting into the flow of things here. Pimentel, guarded by Vasquez. Steal by Vasquez. Lane to the basket. Challenged, but scoring too is Vasquez.
Wasn't really sure of himself there was Pimentel as he kind of looked for options, couldn't find one, took his eye off the ball for just a second. Vasquez was able to capitalize.
Arroyo peeking behind the screen with a three-pointer. Halfway down and kick back up. Placer. They're running in transition as Puerto Rico. Now they'll settle into half court. Torres lost it. Palermo. Placer weaves his way into the lane, falling and turning the ball over. And Pimentel with a lane to the basket. He got challenged and hammered on the play by Palermo. Two shots forthcoming.
Palermo standing at 6'5", out of Kissimmee, Florida. He's been another standout guy for Puerto Rico that hasn't really been in the spotlight too much. He's sort of been that quiet guy that sort of gets points and someone you don't really take recognized to throughout the entire game.
Pimentel will clang the first foul shot.
During the round robin, he was just over 33% from the line.
And that is something that needs to be improved. 1 out of 2 there. 7-3 our score. 4:36 has been played in the first quarter. Quick sub for Chile as Felipe Eneo will come in. Vasquez, alley-oop! Oh my goodness, it was finished emphatically underneath by Torres. My goodness.
He came out of nowhere, just in the corner of my eye. I saw number 9 in white. Oh man, he's feeling it.
Coming back in and a strong take by Lorcos. He got fouled on the play and will get 2 shots from the line.
Looks like he was triple teamed there, but he did the right thing. And we have to take another look at this. My goodness. He is fired up right now, but back to that play in down low. Yeah, there were about 3 Puerto Ricans on him, and he did the right thing. He went to the paint, drew contact, couldn't get the basket, but if he can make these 2 shots, he misses the first one, it'll be a good drive.
Averaged a strong double-double in the preliminary, 16 points and 11 rebounds. 1 out of 2 from the line. Chile with a bit of a trap. Palermo over the timeline. Placer screen roll with Torres, and the foul was before the shot.
Looks like Torres wanted to throw it down again.
See, he's a lefty. He slammed it home with the lefty. Challenged there with the left hand. Placer, ball on the floor. Kick out Vasquez with the up fake. Placer for 3, and it's good.
And that's good to see if you're a Puerto Rican fan. You got to get him hot early on. 4.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. That's good to see from number 15.
31% from three-point land in the preliminaries. Gets one there. Nice spin move inside. A big denial, though. And Placer running the floor beautifully, but then he turned the ball over. Right back come Chile. Oh, reverse! It's a beautiful move by Rubio.
Rubio averaged 12.7 points in that preliminary round, and what a play there. Reverse lay-in off the glass, getting one, and he was 53% from the field, so you know, he's ready to go for Chile. Did you see the chance back the other way, just pushing the pace? There were 2 defenders back for Puerto Rico, but able to cut through them, draw contact, and in. There's the 3-point play.
So beautiful play by Kevin Rubio, 18 years old, 6'2". Slow start offensively for both teams in the first 3 minutes. They've certainly made up for that since. Condit outside, Placer for 3. It's short, tipped around, and Condit with the offensive rebound in the reset. Palermo, ball on the floor, strong take, high off the glass for the finish.
And you look at Condit for that rebound there, using those long arms, just able to steal it away from the Chilean defender and get that great scoring opportunity for his team.
Saez, he drops the shoulder, goes to the baby hook and can't get it to go. Rebound was cleared by Torres. Here's Placer. Kick out. Palermo with the handoff, gets it inside. And he was out of bounds. And we've seen this a few times. Reese with players in positioning on this FIBA court.
And it's something, you know, it just, they're still kind of getting used to where the out of bounds line are, but yeah, a couple of times in this tournament we've seen people stepping out of bounds.
Varela Arroyo, Saez, 3-pointer is good, and Saez with a look at his fans in the crowd.
Making it a 4-point game, Chile sticking in it early.
Palermo, Condit, long arms, he's working inside, kicks it out. Vasquez with an open look for 3, no, and there's gonna be a loose ball foul. Looks like it's going to go against Saez.
And I think that's something good that Condit has done throughout this entire tournament. Obviously, if you're Chile, you have to recognize his size, so you at least have 2 or 3 guys on him in the paint, and that leaves a wide open shot for someone beyond the arc. This happened to be Vasquez, but just wasn't able to finish.
Inbounded for Palermo. Isaiah Palermo picks up his dribble. Placer with 5 on the shot clock. Vasquez forced 3, it's good! 3-pointer and the foul. A chance for a 4-point play for Vasquez.
He averaged 50% from beyond the arc in the round robin part of this tournament. As you see him, hey, don't be afraid to use that glass. If he can complete this 4-point play, it's huge for Puerto Rico, and he does.
And that was just, Reese, as the shot clock was expiring.
Good time management if you're Puerto Rico as well, using all 24 seconds.
And Yako with the pass on the right side, kicked out for Rubio. Faked the 3, drove in with a scoop shot, and Condit said, not on my watch. with a big rejection.
Hard to get past big number 4 in white, Rubio Trita. He's been the top guy for Chile, so you expect him to try and do that a couple of times.
Yep, off the glass and in. Not pretty, but they all count, right?
Exactly, he'll take the 4-point play.
Arroyo drives in, kicked out. Three-pointer from Iñaco is good. This first quarter of basketball has been played at a tremendous pace. Condit spinning up and under move and then to the reverse, and he couldn't finish.
Good defense there from the Chileans not to foul him and let him take a shot. He missed it.
Arroyo was pushed on his way to the basket before the shot.
Head coach upset. Getting an explanation from the referee right now. But it's a good call. It was before the shot. Chile will keep the basketball, so good for them, especially 19 seconds on the shot clock. Tons of time to set something up.
Arroyo will inbound the ball. 7.7 points a game, 7.3 assists, and 6.7 rebounds. Outstanding all-round effort. Iñaco jab step. Rubio. Arroyo, they're going to call an offensive foul.
And that's not really what you wanted if you're Team Chile. With a minute and a half to go, when you're playing a good team like Puerto Rico, you want to stick within 1-2 possession game. It's within a 2-possession game now, but that would have been huge with time ticking down here in the first quarter to get within a 1-possession game.
Lorca Lloyd will pick up the offensive foul, so. Lane's shot is up and it's no good. Arroyo with the push, Iñaco. He's guarded by Dominguez, gets a screen, 10 on the shot clock. Rubio drops the shoulder. It took a lot of steps. They're gonna call a held ball though, and the possession arrow is going Chile's way. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
And one thing I'm noticing on the defensive side of the ball for Puerto Rico, Condit is standing around a lot underneath the basket, not really going out, staying on his man, so Chile always having at least one man semi-open for a clean shot.
Three-pointer by Arroyo is good with the shot clock winding down.
That's huge for Team Chile.
2-point game. Vasquez, he's got to look for 3 and he missed. Arroyo with the rebounds.
We saw Santiago set up that play for Puerto Rico. He's a guy that came off the bench in the round robin.
Kick out. Saez, and they're going to call a foul underneath.
Another offensive foul on Team Chile. Both teams at 4 fouls. Well, now that'll be the 5th foul for Team Chile as we have another look at this. Yep.
Player control foul, no foul shots on that 5th foul in FIBA basketball. Puerto Rico holding for the last shot. Here's Santiago. Palermo, right baseline, sealed off. Dominguez for 3, no. Rebound ripped down by Lorca Lloyd, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. It took 3 minutes for either team to score, but since then, Reese, 18-16, we got a good ball game here.
Well, I think early on that teams were more focused on their defensive play, and that sort of helped them build up the offense. You saw Torres throw that down, feed off the energy. They're up to 18 points, Chile to 16. It's been a really great start to this one.
18-16, the lead is 2 in favor of Puerto Rico. We will be back with the second quarter after this FIBA Under Americas Championship from St. Catharines.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Welcome back inside the Meridian Center. A frantically and fiercely played first quarter of basketball as Puerto Rico with a 2-point lead over Chile. As we take a look at some of the numbers, Reese.
3-point percentage stands out to me. 50% on the side of Team Chile, 38% for Team Puerto Rico. So both teams sort of looked for that shot from beyond the arc, and they've been hitting them at a fairly substantial pace.
Statistics bearing out that this was a tightly played first quarter of basketball, and it was very intense.
And there was a time that it looked like Puerto Rico may have started to look like they would pull away from Team Chile, but Chile has kept themselves in it. They got big stops when they needed it. They've gotten big shots when they've needed it. So, I mean, it's been a good quarter of basketball so far. The next 10 minutes should be good heading into the half.
Puerto Rico ball, a 15th ranked team in FIBA coming into this game. I would guess by FIBA rankings, with Chile being 35th in FIBA, that they're the favorites, but when you get into a short tournament format and a one and done, anything goes.
And Team Chile, if you think about it, are the best team coming out of South America. Yeah, Argentina's ranked 8th, but Chile was the champions of South America a year ago, beating Argentina. So we know they can win, we know they can fight, and it'll be a good finish to this one.
Santiago up top for Rosa. He gets his first action the afternoon. Santiago pulls it up and knocks down a jumper.
He was 56.5% from the field in the round robin. A quiet guy for Puerto Rico that has been scoring.
Lorca Lloyd with the kick out. And Yako for 3! And the response.
And on that play, you saw Puerto Rico sort of triple team guys at times. I saw 3 guys open beyond the arc there.
Dominguez, ball on the floor. Linares has just checked into the game. He'll hand it off. Palermo. Jumper over Iñako is good for 2.
Good response for Puerto Rico. The Chile fans behind us were into it and sort of saw Chile feed off of that, but good job by Puerto Rico to quiet them a little bit.
3-point lead for Puerto Rico. Saez and Iñako. Oh, look at the spin move by Rubio in the finish.
And you can't teach that. That's just all skill. Rubio's been doing it all week long.
Santiago gets the rub from Dominguez. It's a screen roll, finished beautifully inside by Dominguez.
And you said first 3 minutes of the game, no one was scoring. Now they're scoring on, it looks like, every possession.
Rubio is feeling it with a long 3 that's no good. Dominguez with the rebound, but he lost it. It's right into the hands, and scoring 2 is Arroyo. Another steal. Arroyo for 3, and it's good! My goodness, 5 straight points for Ferrello Arroyo.
He is feeling it, and if you're Team Dominican Republic, I would have called a timeout here. Settle things down, get your heads back into it.
And Chile has a 2-point lead, 26-24. Palermo, good backdoor cut, and a great finish for Santiago.
That was right through my vision. I could see that lane the whole way, so could he. He found it, made an excellent pass, and we're all tied up again.
Arroyo and Yako. Lorca Lloyd with the high screen. Saez down low, and it's jammed home by Maxwell Lorca Lloyd.
Again, Chile keeps finding a way to be open and getting those passes, and a good job by their teammates to get the passes to them.
Rosa, kick out. Santiago. Linares using the shoulder, but lost the ball, and will turn it over. These Chilean fans are making a lot of noise.
And the team can feel it. I felt the momentum switch. This is all Team Chile right now. They can't miss, defensive side, offensive side. It's been great to start the second quarter.
3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Varelo Arroyo. Saez will play it across. Rubio for Lorca Lloyd. 5 on the shot clock. On the block, down low. Triple teamed was Saez, and he lost it.
And we saw that a couple times in the first quarter, offensive turnovers for Team Chile, whether it was a foul or just lost, it went out of bounds, but still, you're in a good spot right now. You're up by 2 on a very good Puerto Rican team. As you see Placer checking back into the game, maybe he can provide a spark for Puerto Rico to try and switch the momentum back onto their side.
Puerto Rico ball. Placer. He'll maintain his dribble. Up top it goes for Rosa. On the curl, Santiago. They're going to call an offensive foul on the play.
It continues to go back and forth, whether both teams score, both teams miss, both teams foul, as you just saw on that. Scoring sort of stood at a standstill for the last about 30 seconds, a minute or so. So Chile looking to respond, get some more points on the board.
Linares with the offensive foul on that play. Lorca Lloyd handoff. And Yako. Lorca Lloyd. Fade away over Linares, and he got fouled on the play. 2 shots from the line forthcoming.
Take the free shots when you get them. One thing I noticed in that preliminary rounds for Team Chile, throughout the entire tournament, weren't the greatest free throw shooting team in the world. 65%, you definitely want that number up.
Lorca Lloyd does a little bit of a jump when he takes his foul shots. And he missed both of them.
Is a little bit odd, never seen that form before, but if it works for him, didn't work for him on that trip, but.
Placer gets a back screen from Torres. Santiago. Torres on the block, spinning, fadeaway, tough shot. Couldn't get it to go, and Lorca Lloyd will clear.
And I think that's what you want if you're Team Chile. You want Puerto Rico taking off balance and non-high percentage shots.
Iñaco, screen roll Rubio, faked the 3, drove in. Oh, he took a couple of steps, but made it work.
I think he might have gotten away with one there, but hey, if the refs don't see it, you'll take the 2 points.
4-point lead now for Chile. Placer, outside catch and shoot Rosa. It won't go down.
And Rosa's a guy you maybe want to look out for if you're Team Chile, because he can get hot from beyond the arc, and we've seen it happen in this tournament.
Arroyo, great stop and go dribble inside. Mental lost it out of bounds. It's turned over. .506 to go in the second quarter. Timeout has been taken by Puerto Rico.
Look
as Chile has taken the lead.
And the leaders for Team Chile, 10 points, it's Lorca. He's done everything. He's got 4 defensive rebounds, and as I mentioned, the 10 points, or excuse me, yeah, 10 points. So he's been doing it on both ends of the floor. Also, Rubio's got 7, so he's chipping in. And even a guy that's been on the bench for a little bit here now is Sayez. He's got 6.
Balanced scoring as we go into a timeout. 30-26, Chile with the score. And what has been a closely contested game will continue on after this. You're watching FIBA U18 Americas Basketball Championship from St. Catharines. Welcome back inside the Meridian Center in St. Catharines. Just about halfway through the second quarter, Chile with a 4-point lead on Puerto Rico. Placer. Santiago outside Placer, step to the basket, and a finger roll for 2.
That's a good job off the timeout for Puerto Rico to come right up the court and score. You never want to get stopped off a timeout, and that can easily build momentum for your team.
Maniaco. Pimentel. Rubio guarded by Torres. Out it goes for Arroyo. 2 on the shot clock. He'll pull up long. 2 is no good. Rebound pulled down by Vasquez. Santiago in the open floor. Lobbing one across. Placer with the drive inside. Left hand no good. Gets the offensive rebound. Torres worked hard. Couldn't quite finish. Here's Rubio. Inside Lorca Lloyd. Offensive foul charged to Lorca Lloyd.
Another offensive foul. I've counted at least 3 or 4 against Team Chile here in this one. You see him driving, yep. Placer's feet were set. It was a good call by the official, but if you're Team Chile, maybe you, I don't want to say that they have to maybe step off the gas pedal as far as driving wise, but maybe sort of take a little bit of a step back to, in case you do get into foul trouble, as we saw the Dominican Republic in the last game get into foul trouble late in that game.
Condit back into the game. Placer with the ball. Santiago up top. Placer. Long 3 is short. Rubio with the clear.
And there were a lot of red uniforms underneath that basket to get that rebound. It looks like they're focused on defense just as much as the offense, hoping one will turn into the other.
Pimentel up top. Varela Arroyo. 5 on the shot clock. All sorts of trouble. Pimentel driving. Strong take. Oh, he got bailed out. Shot clock was expiring, but there's a foul called.
And I think that's good recognition by him there, seeing that the shot clock was down, and he was sort of already inside, surrounded in a sea of white, so he didn't really have an option to go out, just thought he'd drive, see if he could get some contact. He did. 2 free shots here for number 18.
Vasquez with the foul. Pimentel, who averaged a shade over 21 minutes per game in the round robin, missed the first one.
And in that first quarter, Team Chile was 60% from the line. So that number's gotta go up. He misses both there.
They've missed 4 straight from the line, have Chile. Ball thrown away, nice save, but he turned it over. Santiago went over and back. Varela Arroyo inside, it goes. Pimentel, trouble controlling. It's going out of bounds to Puerto Rico.
And on that loose ball, Puerto Rico, 3 guys on 1. We've said that quite a few times, even when Chile's had good possession of the ball, but when there's a loose ball, get those white jerseys on it and make sure that the ball goes in your favor.
So both teams have bogged down a little bit offensively. It's a 2-point lead, Chile 30, Puerto Rico 28. Placer outside and again stepping out of bounds. Vasquez this time.
And it looks like Team Chile's called a timeout. And one thing I'm noticing here is that Team Chile isn't really giving a lot of guys playing time. I see about 1, 2, 3 guys on the bench right now. Of course, the 5 on the floor, but after that first quarter, only 6 guys saw the floor. So we saw a little bit of that with Team Ecuador and Team Panama, where guys are logging lots of minutes and fatigue coming up at the end of the game, whether or not that's the issue or not. But if Chile wants to stick it out in the long run, they might want to start subbing in a little bit more guys. But then if you're the head coach, you're like, hey, this thing's working, so why change it?
Chile outscored Ecuador 40-21 in the second half of their victory. Were outscored by 15 by Argentina in the second half, and then were outscored by 25 by Canada in the second half. Something to keep an eye on, perhaps.
For sure, and it's been the main guys that have been logging minutes for Chile. Rubio, we mentioned it off the top. Rubio averaged 32 minutes in the round robin. Arroyo just under 32 minutes, and Lorca just over 31 minutes. And the next closest guy is at 24.5 minutes, and that's Iñako. So whether or not the head coach wants to start subbing more guys in, we don't know, but with just under 3 to play, maybe fatigue has started to set in just a little bit.
2:53 exactly to go in the first half of play. Chile with the ball and a 2-point lead. Here's Iñako. Arroyo. Rubio, such a quick step inside. Martinez can't complete. Was set up beautifully. Out of bounds to Puerto Rico.
That was a good second effort from Martinez. Yeah, he missed that layup. He probably wants it back, but good job not to give up on the play. The ball did go the other way, but still, nice job not to give up.
Placer for Santiago. Here's Placer. Santiago has an open look. He'll take it. And it's way off, though. Arroyo, the point guard. Gets a Martinez screen to work with. Carrasco on the perimeter. 10 on the shot clock. Kick out, and Iñako faked the 3. Martinez, strong take. He was held as he made that move to the basket. 14 as per FIBA rules for Chile to work with.
And if you're Chile, you want to score here. You want to get this within a 2-possession game, or get up a 2-possession game, excuse me, with limited time left on the clock.
Rubio scoop, can't get it to go. Condit was all over the rebound.
I think they called goaltending on Condit.
And the 2 points will go up on the board. Let's take a look here. Hit the mesh, but not sure how much he contacted the basketball.
Yeah, in FIBAs, I know if the ball's on the rim, you can touch it. Backboard, no, but yeah, he got more net than he did ball.
Placer for Santiago. 10 on the shot clock. Placer off a Condit rub. Can't make the shot.
That was a little bit odd from Chile. They gave Placer quite a bit of room there, more than you ever want to give him. Fortunately, he missed.
Martinez up top for Arroyo. He'll pull it back out, and Chile will reset. Arroyo takes a long 3 and hits it.
Hey, take what they give you. He did exactly that. They're up by 7 points on a very good Puerto Rican team who's got to figure it out.
Rosa for 3, and it's short. Rebound, here's Arroyo. Iñako, and it's a 9-point lead now.
Team Chile is just firing on all cylinders. The crowd is behind them, but Puerto Rico, man, they can't buy a basket right now.
Condit will kick it out. Force pass on the interior, scramble for it, and it's going to remain with Puerto Rico.
And it looks like Team Puerto Rico is trying to force plays. They're not. Early on, we saw them a little bit relaxed. That's why we didn't have any scoring in the first 3 minutes of the game, but it looks like they're trying to force plays that aren't really there, and that's what's led to the turnovers and given the momentum to Chile.
And the fans are singing here in the second quarter. Santiago pull-up jumper, and he gets it to go, and that will break the run. Timeout taken by Chile as they want to diagram the last 32.2 seconds.
And this is
the
huge.
First half.
This is huge for them. They're up by 7. You don't want to miss badly and give a good opportunity to Puerto Rico coming back the other way, because it'll take there's about 8 seconds that they have before we hit the final 24 seconds in the quarter, and that would mean the final possession. So if you're Team Chile, you want to work the clock down, make sure you only give that 8 seconds to Puerto Rico coming back the other way, because Puerto Rico's a really good second half team, and if they get a good shot at the end of this half, it could lead to great stuff here in the second half.
Puerto Rico's victories by 33 over Panama, in which they only gave up 15 points in the second half. They beat the Dominican Republic with a consistent four-quarter performance by 14 and then lost by 44 to the U.S. down 27 at halftime.
And that was the one thing about the Puerto Rican game against Team Panama. It was 36-34 for Team Panama at the end of the first half. And Puerto Rico had a discussion in that locker room, and they were the best team I'd seen all day that day. And Puerto Rico was just not missing shots. They were hitting everything. Condit actually lit up for them in that second half. So it's only a 7-point disadvantage for Puerto Rico and 20 minutes in the second half, so plenty of time. But if you're Team Chile, you're happy where you are right now.
Outscored Panama 50-15 in the second half of that game. And then poor Panama ran into the USA in the next game and lost by a substantial amount. Panama will take on Canada in the last quarterfinal this afternoon.
That's the 1-versus-4 matchup.
Arroyo. 4 on the shot clock. Deep three-pointer is short, tipped around, and Puerto Rico can get the last shot here. Santiago skips it across, but Condit got in the way and couldn't take it. Or three-pointer by Arroyo. The buzzer is good! And what a turnaround. There wasn't a Puerto Rican player in sight, Reese. And Chile will take a 10-point lead, 40-30. Into the halftime locker room.
Wow, what a way to end the first half. I mentioned it off the timeout. Puerto Rico, if you're Team Chile, you wanted to use a lot of that time. As you see at the buzzer, they used a lot of that 32 seconds. So Puerto Rico had to sort of rush things a little bit down the court, probably rushed it a little bit more than they had to, but they didn't get a great scoring opportunity. They turned the ball over, and Team Chile, great way to end it.
They gave up on the ball too, Puerto Rico did. There was 4 Chilean guys standing there while they took the shot. 40-30 is the score at halftime, by the way. A 10-point lead for Chile. And they are riding an emotional wave into an upset so far. Second half is coming up. Chile 40, Puerto Rico 30. You're watching FIBA U18 Americas Championship basketball from St. Catharines.
Up, oh, check. God, that's too much, too strong. Dunk it, baby! Mexico drive hard to the basket. Moscato. But Matters there, and he's denied by Justice.
Come on now.
Ball now into the hands of Hammond, feeds it into Benny with a two-handed hammer jam.
Now that's how to mop a floor quickly.
This crowd is going to be loud here. They really get behind the team.
World Cup qualifiers were meant to bring basketball home to the home nations.
Vargas drives in and scores. The party's on. Now Brasino flies in.
Uncle Howdy A. Carter on the putback.
4-1, back to Grass. Roll! It goes in for the dunk. Scola. Wow. So in, and Samus Reyes flies in for the dunk. What a play that is!
Right, that's what it means.
Great win for the Uruguayans.
Turn them off the floor quickly.
Welcome back inside the Meridian Center. Right now, quarterfinal number 2. Reese Demaney, and it's a 10-point lead for Chile over Puerto Rico. 3-point shooting, the difference.
Yeah, 25% for Team Puerto Rico. Hasn't been fantastic. 3 for 12 are the total numbers, whereas the other side, Team Chile, 53.8%, 7 of 13 from beyond the arc.
Team Chile is the 35th ranked team in FIBA. Puerto Rico is the 15th ranked team. You wouldn't know it on the scoreboard with a 10-point lead for Team Chile. Reese, this is a team that plays with a lot of emotion. You can see them continuing to jack up 3, 7 for 13. That was the one to close out the half. They do some things you don't want basketball players to do. They play to the crowd, they get emotional, but it seems to work for them.
Well, when you have a crowd, take a look behind us, that Chilean crowd. When you have a crowd like that and a crowd watching back home on national television, you can't just not be pumped up for it. They've showed that they are ready. They want to do something for the country of Chile, and it's just what an amazing half of basketball for them.
More highlights coming up here in the first quarter. Again, Chile working it inside and out. 7 3-pointers. There's Arroyo pointing to the crowd after making that 3-pointer. And it really seemed that Puerto Rico, they really got out of sorts as the quarter progressed.
They did, and you mentioned at the end of that second quarter, as you saw that shot there from Carrasco, there were 4 Puerto Rican guys standing around and watching. So maybe the message from the head coach is to, hey, let's play some basketball. We're down by 10 points. We're not where we want to be. That last rush, 4 of you were standing around after you turned the ball over, after a rush that you probably had a little bit more time. They had about 10 seconds left on the clock, but they ran it like they only had 5 seconds. So it's, if you're Team Puerto Rico, get your heads back into the game quickly.
Teams are putting themselves through the warm-up paces, are meeting with the respective coaches. We'll be back with the second half after this. Chile by 10 over Puerto Rico, FIBA Under-18 Americas Basketball. Puerto Rico huddling it up, ready to go. They trail by 10 against Team Chile. An interesting statistical breakdown. Chile 9 trips to the line, Puerto Rico 1 trip to the line, but Chile not taking advantage of those trips to the foul line.
Exactly, and we said that during the group stage, Chile was 65.9%. It's not an awful number, it's not a great number, but it's not a number you want to see under the category of free throw percentage. the whole team is just, there's been a couple guys where they have hit their shots, but they've only gotten 2 opportunities, you know, 3 opportunities at the line. So obviously if you're 2 for 2, yeah, okay, cool. You made your trip to the line, you did what you were supposed to do, but as a team, it's got to get better. Yeah, they're up by 10 points, but could be more.
3 for 9 from the free throw line in the first half. 1 for 1 for Puerto Rico. And points off turnovers, 15-4 for Chile. Tells the story, doesn't it?
Oh, that's a number that you never want to see, and that's a number I was surprised by, but after that last rush, that was a turnover. It was a 3-ball from Team Chile, so points off turnovers, limit turnovers. That's the easiest way to eliminate that number.
Well, Chile's got to sustain this momentum for a full half of basketball. They lead by 10 right now. Inside they go, and what a great start. Lorca.
And we said they had the momentum out of that first half. That's how you keep it.
Lorca Lloyd with an emphatic dunk to start off the second half.
He had 10 in that first half.
Vasquez, nice drive and a teardrop in the lane.
Vasquez was the leader for Team Puerto Rico in that first half. He had 8 points, shooting 42%.
Lorca Lloyd. Carrasco. Kick out. Look at that floater by Lorca Lloyd. He's really feeling it.
Everything's going in for him and his team, and if you're the head coach of Team Chile, you are thrilled to see this.
Vasquez off the back screen. He'll kick it out. Vasquez. Condit jump hook, can't get it to go.
And one thing I saw there, Vasquez, when he was driving, I thought he had a lane. I didn't think he had to dish it off there, but he thought he did. I thought he had a clear lane to the basket.
Iñaco. Carrasco, ball on the floor, peeking behind the screen. Arroyo forced it to Iñaco. It's batted around. And an opportunity for an uncontested 2 and a dunk. And a big dunk by Vasquez.
Maybe that can get Puerto Rico back into this game. We'll see moving forward.
Arroyo. Lorca Lloyd on the perimeter with a handoff to Iñaco. Lorca Lloyd challenging Condit, drops the shoulder, lost the ball. 2 on the shot clock. It's going to be a 3 as the shot clock expires. No good from Arroyo. Gets the offensive rebound though, does Iñaco. Reset now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Arroyo, look at the move, little shake and bake to the baseline. Inside it goes, Rubio feels the contact and got fouled.
And even on that play where Chile got that offensive rebound, that was great defense from Team Puerto Rico. Condit didn't give up his position, he didn't foul, so it was a good job by him. Yeah, they couldn't get the offensive rebound, which sucks if you're Team Puerto Rico, but that was great defense.
So Rubio will step to the line.
Take a look at Vasquez. He's the guy that's been providing the offense all afternoon so far. He's led the way in points, and as you see there, not a great trip to the line there if you're Rubio.
Missed both of them. 3 for 11 for the line for Chile. Vasquez up top. Placer driving, switches to the right hand but can't finish. Carrasco comes down with the rebounds. And it's Carrasco with the ball right now. Arroyo. Rubio. Drives. Long shot over Condit. Rubio down low. Lorca Lloyd spins out of the double team and a big block by Condit. Up the floor, Vasquez. Strong step to the basket, counted in the foul.
Vasquez continues to be a force to be reckoned with for Team Puerto Rico as he gets to the bucket. Able to draw contact and one. So maybe Puerto Rico starts to not look for other guys. Maybe he's going to be the guy that leads the way and steps up to try and get them back into this game as he makes his free throw attempt.
7-point lead now for Chile over Puerto Rico. Rubio. Pimento, Carrasco. Rubio. 5 on the shot clock. Arroyo, kick out. Rubio will pass it up. Carrasco won't, and he missed a 3. Vasquez with a rebound. He's in the open floor. Placer pulling it up. 3 in transition is good. And all of a sudden, it's an 8-0 run for Puerto Rico, and they trailed only by 4.
Momentum switch? Possibly.
Arroyo. Lorca Lloyd. 3-pointer from Arroyo is an air ball.
I mentioned it, the momentum switch we may be feeling at Chile. That wasn't a great possession. I don't think that's a shot they want to be taking. And Vasquez has provided that intensity, that energy that Puerto Rico has needed. Down by 4 when they trailed by 10 at the half.
Here's Vasquez guarded by Pimento. Gets it to the left side, Palermo. He gets rejected though on the play. Arroyo with a big block. Carrasco. See if Chile could turn that defense into offense. Pimento with the take, the finger roll, and swatted away by Condit.
Standing at 6'10", you think, well, maybe that might not be fair with some of the shorter Chilean players, but he continues to get it done on defense, but he's got to figure out on offense as well. Defense has been great for him so far in this quarter.
Arroyo, kick out, Carrasco, open 3, no. Pimento offensive rebound, tip to Lorca Lloyd, and Condit. All ball, but looked like he got him on the body, and it's a foul.
Sort of looked like all ball from here as well. Obviously, Condit upset with the call. He'll give a tap to the official on the shoulder. You can't really argue it or you're going to get teed up, but as we take another look here, what do we got?
On the body, it looked like a little contact.
Yep, looks like he got the fingertips.
And Chile continues to struggle from the line. They've missed all 5 of their shots from the foul line so far. Make it 6 in a row.
This could be the difference in the game, free throws. Puerto Rico's not even getting to the line, so.
Placer, kick out, Vasquez, jab step. Now we'll cue up a 3-pointer, and it's good. 11-0 run for Puerto Rico. And that 12-point Chile lead has been whittled away, Reese, all the way down to just 1 point.
And I think this is a good call by Team Chile, calling a timeout, getting your team settled down because they were in control of this game. It was a 2-handed slam from Maxwell Lloyd to begin the quarter. And we sort of thought saying, hey, maybe Chile's taking the momentum from the first half into the second half, looking like they had the momentum, and then Puerto Rico just out of nowhere started scoring as they couldn't buy a bucket for a lot of that second quarter. Now everything's going in. Vasquez is leading the way as you see him with a couple of plays here getting to the rim, and his teammates can feel it off of him as Placer as well hitting a 3-ball.
And there's that big dunk by Vasquez as well in the emotional reaction.
And I think that's what got it started for Team Puerto Rico.
A demonstrative player, isn't he?
Oh, he looks like he's having a ton of fun out there.
And you can see on the screen 14 points now, foul shots. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like we mentioned, you said 1-for-1 was Puerto Rico in that second quarter. If you're Team Chile, that's great. You're not fouling. That's an excellent job. But you're getting fouled on the other side of the court and not scoring. You have to capitalize on these opportunities. When they're not getting to the line and you are, they have to go in.
3 for 13 from the foul line for Chile. Arroyo on the block. Rubio triple team, double team, couldn't get the shot to go.
Looks
and
like
Puerto Rico with a chance for the lead.
Looks like Condit got a hand on that one too.
And Vasquez, no, he took it coast to coast, couldn't finish. Condit lost it. He's got it, now he's playing fumble, and he's got to do some fancy footwork to stay inside the half court of Chile. Three-pointer, Placer is no good, and Saez with a rebound.
Oh, if Placer made that, that Puerto Rican bench was ready to erupt.
Arroyo. Rubio, right baseline, entry pass thrown away. And it's Placer giving it up. Kick out, Vasquez for three in the lead, no! And Lorca Lloyd with the rebounds.
And I just took a look behind my shoulder. These Chilean fans are dead silent. Maybe they need to get a little bit louder and spark something in Team Chile here in this third quarter.
Lorca Lloyd, tough fadeaway, halfway down and kick back up. Third opportunity for Puerto Rico to take the lead. Palermo driving, fadeaway hook is no good.
With the shot clock almost full, you maybe don't want to do that. Settle things down because they've had a couple opportunities to take the lead and they haven't.
Pimento with a pass. Rubio, Arroyo will square it up. 5 on the shot clock off the Lorca Lloyd screen. Rubio, kick out. Arroyo, as the shot clock expires, it's a big three.
I did not think he was going to get that shot off. There was a couple of white jerseys in front of him, but hey, he made do with what he had and got the three ball to land.
Placer, Palermo back for Placer. Here's Vasquez. Catch and shoot for three is short. Rebound though, cleaned up and scoring two. Inside is Torres.
2-point lead if you're Team Chile, gotta score, get it back to a 2-possession game. If you're Puerto Rico, get a stop, come back, either tie it or take the lead.
Chile by 2. Arroyo kick out. Lorca Lloyd all jammed up inside. Able to get it inside, another swat and a block by Condit. Now it's a fast break, step to the basket. And we're all tied up at 47.
And they finally tied the game. Placer getting the job done as he did in the round robin stage.
A 12-point lead for Chile is gone. 47-47, Arroyo fouled on the perimeter by Placer well before the shot.
This is some great basketball we're watching here. Puerto Rico had a pretty big lead at the end of that first quarter going into the second quarter. That went away. Team Chile led by 10 at the half. You mentioned 12-point lead, all gone. It's a tie ball game.
Twelve on the shot clock. Pimento, Arroyo, 5 on the shot clock. Inside Pimento, he had snuck in the back door and got fouled on the play. 2 shots from the line.
And these are 2 very important shots. This has not been a great performance from the line for Team Chile. Gotta score these 2 buckets, get up by 2 points. If you make 1, yeah, that's an all right trip, but if you make 2, man, your head coach is feeling a lot better on that sideline. First one missed.
They have not hit a foul shot here in the third quarter. Pimento the second one. This one he gets.
And if you're the head coach, Franco Lara, you're saying, thank goodness we made 1.
Vasquez passing inside, follow-up by Condit, and he tips in the Torres miss. And it's a lead for Puerto Rico.
Nice job by Condit not to give up on that second opportunity, able to clean up the loose change. And with a minute left, if you're Team Puerto Rico, you want to stop and keep the momentum.
Arroyo, air ball on the jumper. Kicked out, Arroyo, 3 on the shot clock. Desperation heave for 3 is no good, and Condit who's become a force defensively in the third quarter with the rebounds.
Great defense by the whole Puerto Rican team on that one. Of course, Condit got the garbage underneath for the rebound.
Santiago pull up left baseline jumper, and it's a 3-point lead for Puerto Rico. They have outscored Chile 21-8 here in the third quarter. Iñaco, kick out, Saez, Arroyo. Iñaco, ball on the floor, little floater is a beautiful shot for 2.
And that was important for Team Chile with the clock winding down. They barely got the shot off. 1-point game heading into the fourth quarter. My goodness, what else could we ask for?
Was a 10-point lead for Chile at halftime. Puerto Rico, on the strength of a 12-0 run in the third quarter, take a 51-50 lead on Chile. We will be back for the fourth quarter. A spot in the semifinals on the line at the FIBA U18 Americas Championship from St. Catharines.
Now that's how to mop a floor quickly.
Welcome back inside the Meridian Center. Those Chilean fans were coming unglued at times in the first half. A little more pensive now. A 1-point Puerto Rico lead, Reese.
They were hopping in that first half, and they are dead silent now as their team trails by 1. I just can't get over this number. 1 made free throw in that third quarter. 4 for 15 in the game, only good for 26%.
1 for 6 in the third quarter.
Whereas on the other side, Team Puerto Rico, they've only been to the line twice in this game. They've hit them both, but if you're them, you want to get more free shots at the basket. Try and get this lead higher than 1, but Team Chile, they could easily be up in this contest.
Puerto Rico ball to start off the fourth quarter. Spot of the World Cup next year, spot in the semifinals. Tomorrow night on the line here at the Meridian Center. Catch and shoot for 3 is an air ball from Rosa. Arroyo, Lorca Lloyd, ball on the floor, Iñaco. Iñaco driving on Vasquez, and Condit, a steal. Vasquez, open floor, he's a high flyer. Off glass, good for 2.
And he's been the standout guy for Team Puerto Rico in this second half. He cannot miss.
Arroyo, Pimentel. Little bit of a clear out on Rosa. 7 on the shot clock, and they're gonna call a foul on the play. Santiago reaching in.
And one thing we saw, I mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast, but Team Dominican Republic had 2 fouls within the first minute of the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico has their first so far, but you don't want to get into foul trouble. That just means free shots. I mean, if Puerto Rico, Chile's not hitting them anyway, so wouldn't make a huge difference, but you never know. Fourth quarter, these guys are feeling it. They may clutch up.
Here's Lorca Lloyd, 2 seconds on the shot clock. He knows it though, and his shot was no good.
Santiago
Left elbow, Vasquez. Here's Condit, back for Vasquez. Tough shot is an air ball. Arroyo with a good crossover on Vasquez. Up the floor for Lorca Lloyd. He beat Condit down the floor, and Condit recovered but committed the foul.
And again, goes right to the official saying, all ball, all ball. Tough to tell from here. The back official was in our way a little bit. You see the head coach there a little bit upset. Asking us what we thought of the play. A little bit tough to see from where we were, as I mentioned.
We have to stay neutral. Lorca Lloyd will get 2 opportunities from the line. The third member of our broadcast crew temporarily became the Puerto Rican head coach.
Omar
Gonzalez.
Yep. He's been a fun coach to watch in this tournament. Him and the Argentinian head coach has been up and down the sideline with a lot of energy. They've been 2 guys I've liked watching coach.
And go figure, to start off the 4th quarter, Lorca Lloyd hits both foul shots. 1-point game. Puerto Rico, the slimmest of margins. But as they were down by 12 at one point, they'll take it. Rosa with the drive, Vasquez. Into the lane, tough fadeaway, can't get it to go. Lorca Lloyd with the clear.
Nice job to keep Condit away from the basket, so he's able to get the defensive rebound.
Arroyo, kick out. 3-pointer is good, and Chile's got the lead back. Saez.
The crowd erupted behind us. They are back into this game.
Santiago pull up left elbow, and we're tied at 55.
Back and forth they go. Santiago, he was 56% from the field in the round robin.
Saez, 10 on the shot clock. Arroyo, step to the basket, kick out. Rubio for 3, no. And it's tipped for Torres. Good defense by Puerto Rico.
I think Rubio had a more open shot a couple seconds before that. He went to the top and took one that he didn't make.
Santiago hit one from the left elbow and then just pulled up from the right elbow and hit a jumper to give Puerto Rico the lead back.
And if you're Team Chile, you might want to be focusing on him a little bit more. It doesn't take him long to get hot. He's made 2 in a row.
And Yako guarded by Rosa. Arroyo. Lorca Lloyd challenging Condit, kick out. Saez, kick out again, 2 on the shot clock. Rubio out of control, and they're gonna wave it off with a shot clock violation.
Oh, it was close. It was very close. Maybe a little bit too many moves for Mr. Rubio as he made his way to the basket, but that would have been huge if he would have made that. As we take another look there, he's able to get around Vasquez and Torres. Condit a little bit late, but yeah, no, very close.
Puerto Rico 2-point lead. Santiago. Rosa catch and shoot 3 as an air ball, and Rubio with the rebounds. Arroyo. Arroyo around Vasquez. Saez faking the 3, driving, and there's Condit with another block.
If you're Team Puerto Rico, you keep it this way. Condit is being the defensive guy they need. Maybe keep him like that instead of, yeah, his size works at the offensive end, but he's been doing it defensively most of this second half. As we have another look here, Saez driving, Condit just saying no. He said no to a few of these Chilean guys.
3-pointer from the corner off the inbound is no good, tipped around, and a reset. Arroyo only reset to 14 seconds in FIBA. And Yako stepped to the basket. He was fouled and will get 2 shots from the line.
I couldn't really tell who the foul was on. I think it might have been on Condit. No, it was not on Condit because he was a little, I thought the foul came before him. But again, 2 huge free throws for Team Chile. They're perfect so far in this quarter, so we'll see how this trip works out. Back to the old ways, missing the first one.
Yep.
We have another look here. Yep,
Vasquez on the reach, I believe.
Yep.
And a generous continuation. Iñaco 1 out of 2 from the line. 1 point game, 5:40 and running to go here in the fourth quarter. Can you tell it's one and done? Can you tell there's a spot in the World Cup on the line? The way these teams are playing here right now, Palermo, Santiago, and Vasquez. 7 on the shot clock. Santiago, step to the basket, kicks it out, and it's a turnover, out of bounds.
Maybe a little one too many passes, or their guys just weren't getting open. Chile, huge opportunity, maybe grab more of the momentum and take the lead.
And the Chilean crowd back in song. Arroyo, strong kick out, open look for 3 is no good from Saez. Rebound, Lorca Lloyd, and he left it hanging on the rim. Foul on the rebounds.
Great job by Team Chile on the offensive side of the ball. There were a few red jerseys and underneath fighting for it. But it was Puerto Rico coming up with the basketball and emphatically coming to the scorer's table, calling a timeout is Omar Gonzalez.
Well, 4:57 to go. 57-56 for Puerto Rico over Chile. And I gotta say, George Condit has been a monster defensively in the second half.
Oh, absolutely, without a question. Defensive rebounds, 3-3 split with offensive as well, but he has 6 blocks in the game and 3 steals.
Quick break in the action, 1 point lead for Puerto Rico, and you're watching it under 18 FIBA Americas Championship basketball from St. Catharines.
Don't miss Niagara College's Spring Open House at our Welland and Niagara-on-the-Lake campuses, March 24th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Experience all that Niagara College has to offer. Visit niagaracollege.ca/open house for more details.
Back inside the Meridian Center, 4:57 to go. Puerto Rico 57, Chile 56, a quarterfinal that has been everything and then some so far.
Yep, and you see the free throw percentages. Puerto Rico has been perfect. Chile has been far from perfect. One of the reasons why they're trailing by 1 here, but if you're Team Chile, you got to get that out of your head. Don't think about it. Every time you make it to the line, it's a new trip. Make it your own. Work hard, focus, and you got to take advantage of the 2 easy points you get.
Placer with the ball for Puerto Rico. Off the Condit screen, kick out, 3-pointer, no. Santiago followed by Torres is good.
And one thing I saw off that rebound, it was Lloyd didn't really look like he wanted that basketball. He kind of stepped away for a second. That's what freed up the great scoring opportunity for Puerto Rico.
And Iñaco up top, Arroyo behind the Lorca Lloyd screen, and he missed. And Chile is finding it tough slugging here in the second half. Pull back out. Placer will take it. Back screen if he needs it from Condit. 4 on the shot clock. 3-pointer is short from Santiago. Both teams are really locking down defensively. Iñaco off the curl. Another screen from Saez. Lorca Lloyd. 6 on the shot clock. Arroyo. Kick out. Saez, 1 more pass. 3-pointer for the tie is no good.
And he had a good look there, and I think that's what Team Chile wants to do now. They've noticed that Condit's been great on the defensive side of the ball, so maybe they are starting to take more jumpers and more shots from beyond the arc.
Iñaco and Vasquez swap missed 3-pointers. Iñaco for Chile, Vasquez for Puerto Rico. 3:10 and running to go. 1 possession game. Iñaco guarded by Vasquez. Again, the shot clock expiring. Rubio driving, fouled on the play. He loves to drive into the paint and create contact. He'll get 2 shots.
And I think these are the most important 2 free throw shots of the tournament for him to get this within 1 point of Puerto Rico, who leads by 3 right now. 3 minutes and change to go. Couldn't get any more intense than this. Rubio's got to focus.
Rubio hits the first one.
This is only his 2nd trip to the line. He's made both, including that one just right there.
6'2" guard, but he really plays it like a forward. Whistle goes on the 2nd foul shot. Lane violation. Missed anyways. 59-57 Puerto Rico. Inside 3 minutes to go in the 4th.
And I think that's all right. He missed the 2nd one. Not awful. It gets within 2 points, so you don't have to take a 3-pointer to tie the ball game.
Santiago, ball on the floor off the Condit screen. Placer driving. High floater is no good. They bat it around. Offensive rebound, kick out now. Vasquez, 10 on the shot clock. 3-pointer is up, and it's also no good from Placer. Out of bounds to Chile with a chance to tie.
A great job by Vasquez there, not giving up on the play. Able to find Placer in the corner. He just couldn't hit the 3 ball, but Vasquez was the one that created that opportunity, never giving up on the play. And he had a chance at a 3 ball, he just missed it.
2:34 to go in the 4th quarter, 59-57. Chile calling the timeout, and you know they want to diagram a good offensive set to try and tie the game.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I think if you're Team Chile, you got to look for guys like Rubio or Lorca, even Arroyo. Arroyo's got 16. He leads, he's got 14 points, my bad. He leads the team. 11 for Iñaco, 11 for Lorca, 10 for Rubio. So those 4 guys are going to be those guys that Team Chile will probably drop this play for. Saez, maybe he'll look to dish it off, as he's got a couple assists in this one, but 4 assists for Rubio. So I mean, he could be the one as well.
There you see the whiteboard is out for the Chilean head coach, Franco Lara.
And one thing I've noticed too as well in the game, we talked about fatigue early on. I see a few guys, 3 guys, Rubio, Lorca, Arroyo, all over 33 minutes played in the contest. Next closest, Iñaco, just under 27, as Saez around 25.5. But then looking at the guys on the bench right now, there are 3 guys sitting on that bench that have seen the court today. So they've been doing it all tournament long. Chile have been relying on 3 guys throughout the entire game. So we'll see if they can get the job done here, get this one tied up, and possibly even take the lead.
Arroyo's barely been off the court. Rubio maybe a minute rest here and there. Iñaco, here's Arroyo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rubio, high screen. Arroyo missed, that was for the tie. Saved from going out of bounds by Santiago.
That's one thing Chile has done in this 4th quarter. They've really worked that shot clock down, so maybe they want to start getting better opportunities early on in that 24 seconds, because these shots are not the greatest.
Inside 2 minutes to go. Kick out. It'll go to Palermo. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Backdoor, Condit with a dunk. They forgot about him, and he finished.
Team Chile got caught ball watching, and Condit all alone, making no mistake. When you're 6'10", you're going to get it every time.
Rubio. Does Chile have the gas in the tank? Rubio, tough shot, can't get it to go. Lorca Lloyd with a big finish, but the foul is going to be on the floor.
And looks like this is going to be the 5th foul for Team Puerto Rico here in the 4th quarter. It will be, whereas Team Chile only 1 foul. So that's been the good side of their game. Puerto Rico hasn't gotten to the line, as Chile has sort of allowed lanes to the basket, not getting their hands in or anything, not getting contact. Whereas the other way, Chile has made their way to the line quite a few times, just haven't been able to capitalize. Thankfully, Lloyd was able to hit that one.
And those fouls to give that Chile has could play a role down the stretch if they're looking to stop the clock.
Absolutely. And then if you're Puerto Rico, yeah, they've been poor. He's perfect there from the line. If you're Puerto Rico, you still don't want to foul every time they're going to head to the line. You never know here in the fourth quarter.
61-59, Puerto Rico, Santiago inside, and it's finished with a big dunk by Torres.
A lot of red jerseys were on Santiago, leaving Torres wide open.
Back-to-back dunks for Puerto Rico. Arroyo sees a little bit of daylight inside Saez. They're gonna call it goaltending against Condit.
Good call, good call. On the backboard is goaltending, on the rim is not.
Puerto Rico 63, Chile 61, inside a minute to go. We're gonna have a finish here at the Meridian Center to book a spot in the semifinal. Santiago, it's his shot, it's his take. Kick out, no, for three, he banks it home! Vasquez banks home a three with the shot clock expiring, and it's a 5-point game. And the Chilean head coach, Franco Lara, screaming for a shot clock violation.
It was close. The official pointing to the scorer's table. Are they going to take a look at this?
Timeout, Chile.
Wow, they pointed at the officials' table. I thought they were going to take a look at this. Two monitors are on the scorer's table here. He's not going to get what he wants.
What a turn of events. Vasquez, that's his second banked three-pointer of the afternoon.
This man is having fun. He's feeling it. And if you're Team Puerto Rico, they've been feeding him all afternoon. 20 on the board for him, and he just can't miss off the glass. Who cares? It's 3 points. Any head coach will tip his cap to you, so he's going to probably stay on the court, and you're going to look for him if you're Puerto Rico.
Now clock management becomes a key for Chile.
Yes.
37.2 seconds, two-possession game.
Yep, and that's one thing I said earlier on in this quarter. They've used a lot of that 24-second shot clock, and the shots haven't really been great. It looks like they've been rushed a little bit, that it's not the shot they wanted, and they're just firing because they have to. The shot clock is down, they have to shoot it. So yeah, clock management is huge, two-possession game. If you're Puerto Rico, you're playing man-on-man to the point. You don't want any shots coming quickly, so we'll see how things go as some final words of wisdom, you could call them, from the head coach of the Puerto Ricans, Omar Gonzalez.
Rubio to inbound the ball. Chile will take a two-point basket. They'll take a three-pointer. They just want it to be quick. Almost stolen off the inbound. Condit got a hand on it. And then he was calling for the deflection off of Lorca Lloyd.
If Team Chile is looking for a three, you may want to look at Iñaco. He's 2 for 3 on the day, so you never know. And even Arroyo's hit 4, so.
Arroyo driving, and he got fouled on the play, and will get 2 shots from the line.
Free throws becoming even more important. 2 made here, make it a 1-possession game.
First shot is up and it's good.
Very important.
And what's that you say about giving a team a chance to put points on the board, taking no time off the clock?
Yep, exactly. And we have another timeout. As what else can we expect? These teams are fighting for a spot in the World Cup. They'll take every second they can to pull out the W.
So now it's a 1-possession game with 30.9 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. So Chile, they can gamble and play lockdown defense and hope that they get a miss. They've only committed one team foul here in the fourth quarter, and that starts to play a role.
So I think if you're Team Chile, you have to recognize that you have only taken one foul in this fourth quarter and use that to your advantage. You know, if you see a guy that has an open lane and you have a chance to do something about it, yeah, maybe get a hand in there, maybe not while he's shooting, because then he'll head to the line for two. And yeah, they haven't had the most opportunities at the line, but they've hit them when they have. So that's very important. If you're Chile, foul on the floor, can't foul while they're in the air or in the act of shooting. So that's one thing we'll have to watch here with 30 seconds left to go, a 3-point advantage for Puerto Rico. It'll be interesting, as you see there, 3-point totals, Puerto Rico 25%. So, but it's been Vasquez that has been hitting them. So if you're Team Chile, do you go double team on Vasquez? But then you wouldn't want to leave Condit in down low because he's 6'10". He's the tallest guy on the court. He's going to hit the dunk every time he gets it down low. It happened earlier in the quarter. So I don't know, Team Chile, hopefully that timeout did them well.
Puerto Rico to inbound the ball, and that's the first order of business. Knocked out of bounds.
That was good defense from Team Chile. Puerto Rico almost ran out of time. And that would have been huge. When you're still waiting to inbound it, time doesn't tick down. Again, Plosser can't find anyone.
Great defense. Oh, a collision. It's going to go to Chile on the turnover.
Wow. Omar Gonzalez not happy.
Santiago shaken up on the play. He got caught in the middle of a Malachi crunch on the inbounds and really took a knock.
And that's what you want if you're Team Chile. Don't worry about Plosser. Don't worry about the man that's inbounding the ball. If he's got no one to inbound it to, then what's it gonna do? The worst thing he does is inbound it off your leg, comes back out, he's got fresh clock to try and inbound it again.
And now Chile doesn't have to jack up a three if they don't want to. They can take a basket here and step back and play defense. They might go for the tie anyway. Arroyo stepped to the basket with a lane. It's a 1-point game with 18 seconds to go.
Might look for them to foul maybe. The timeout, what a shock. Draw something else up. Wow, 1-point game. This is fantastic basketball we're watching here. Coming to the bench, Team Puerto Rico, clearly not the happiest campers in the world right now. Where's that Team Chile bench? They've got all kinds of confidence right now. And look at the crowd behind us. More than 3/4 of their fans are all standing. They know that Team Chile can pull this one out. They're the champions of South America at the U17s last year.
Condit let Arroyo go. Neither team has a timeout left. Now, Reese, it's going to be settled on the floor with these two teams.
And that was a little strange. Condit has been the guy on the defensive side for Team Puerto Rico on this one. Well, count it, 6 blocks.
He's got 4 fouls, though, so had he contested it, it would have been a 5th. 66-65 is the score. Puerto Rico by 1 over Chile. It's Puerto Rico ball, though. 18 seconds left to go.
And again, you can't turn away from the stat. 12 for 25 from the line. If they hit at least 2 more of those, they're up by 1, and they have the momentum with the pressure being on Puerto Rico.
And that's with Chile hitting 8 out of their last 10 from the foul line.
Yep.
Santiago to inbound the ball. Puerto Rico, Reese, had all sorts of trouble inbounding the ball. Had one pass knocked away, turned it over on the second pass.
If you're Team Chile, don't change anything. Do the exact same thing, and you can foul. They only have 1 team foul in this 3rd quarter.
Lob dig, it's contested. Torres, Condit, dunk. It's a 3-point game with 14 to go.
Still 1 possession game. Team Chile, you're all right.
Arroyo stepping back. Rubio He won't shoot it. Arroyo's going to have to force three. No good. And Puerto Rico will escape with a 68-65 victory over a heartbroken Chile squad. Varela Arroyo had a three-point opportunity at the buzzer to send it to overtime. While Vasquez banked home 2 3-pointers, Arroyo couldn't get the bank on the three-pointer, and the game ends, and Chile will move on to the semifinal. Reese, what a game.
You couldn't spell this one any better. Team Puerto Rico, Team Chile. We've seen fight from them throughout the entire tournament. Puerto Rico 2-1 in the round robin, Chile 1-2. They had the fans all tournament long here at the Meridian Center, back home in Chile on national television. Head coach still upset with some of the calls as he came over the scorers table, sort of gave it to him a little bit, but if you're Team Chile, you can't be any prouder of what you've accomplished here with Puerto Rico going to the World Cup now. But Team Chile, wow, what a tournament. It was fun watching them. I enjoyed it, man. Team Chile, they're giving it to their fans right now for supporting them throughout the entire thing.
This is a game that'll sting for a little while for Chile. They had that 10-point lead at halftime. You knew that Puerto Rico was going to make a run, and it was a war in the second half between these two teams. Full credit to Puerto Rico for coming back, and full credit to Chile for battling in this one all the way down to the wire until the final buzzer went. This contest was in doubt.
12-point lead Team Chile had. Puerto Rico had a pretty large lead at the end of one as well, but both teams kept fighting. They knew what was on the line. Berth in the semis, berth at the World Cup for the U19s in about a year, and it's just both teams were fighting the entire game, laid it all on the line. Guys like George Condit, Jose Placer, Santiago, Alejandro Vasquez had 23 for Puerto Rico, so those guys deserve it. They were the better team by just a slight edge.
Quick break here. When we come back, we'll hear from Arroyo. We'll hear from some sound and some interviews. 68-65, Puerto Rico over Chile. Back after this. You're watching FIBA U18 Americas Championship basketball from St. Catharines.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Back inside the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, a little bit of a post game here. Boy, what a game. 68-65, Puerto Rico over Chile. We have just got the final statistics. And man, this was probably the game of the tournament, really, in terms of how competitive it was.
It was for sure, and you mentioned it, game of the tournament. A lot of the games, there'd be a team up, and then they just pull away after the half. So, I mean, it was competitive all the way, and it was a pleasure to call this game. Chile, Puerto Rico, two great teams.
Let's check into the mix zone and hear some interviews and sound from this game.
Tough game out there. You gave it your all. Just came this close. Can you just explain what's going through your mind right now?
Juego muy cerrado. Estuvieron así de cerca. ¿Puedes explicarnos qué pasa por tu cabeza en estos momentos?
Nada, una pena. Difícil perder como se perdió y no queda nada más que levantar cabeza y seguir.
It's really sad. It's always hard to lose the way we lost, but now just pull our heads up and just keep going.
You're a leader of this team. We know how emotional you are right now. What do you want to say to the thousands of people watching back in Chile?
Eres el líder del equipo. Sabemos que duele. ¿Qué quieres decirle a todos los chilenos que están viendo en estos momentos?
Darle las gracias por su apoyo que nos dieron durante este torneo y nada, darle las gracias a todos.
I just want to say thank you for all your support during this tournament. That's about it. Just thank you.
And I know it was a tough loss, but what can you take from these past games that you can go moving forward, you, yourself, and the rest of the team?
Sé que es una derrota difícil, pero ¿qué puedes tomar de este partido, de este torneo para tu carrera aquí en adelante?
Nada, que hay que jugar siempre con intensidad. Orgulloso también de lo que hicimos como equipo, que lo dimos todo contra todo el equipo, nos paramos de igual a igual y nada, seguir adelante con lo que viene.
That we have to play all the time as intensity. Really proud of our team that we stand as equals to all the teams. From now on, again, just head up and move on.
Thank you. Gracias.
Obviously, very difficult for Varela Arroyo, but, you know, classy for him to step up.
Absolutely, and I think he's the guy you wanted taking that three-point shot. He attempted 14 in the contest, made 4 of them. So he's the captain. He was great from beyond the arc. He's great all around, so that's the guy I wanted taking the shot anyways.
2 quarterfinals in the books. Argentina has booked their spot. Puerto Rico has booked their spots. We've got more quarterfinal action coming up later. The USA and Ecuador, and then the hosts, Canada, will take on Panama. For Reese Demaney, I'm Steve Clark saying good afternoon from the Meridian Center in St. Catharines. You have been watching FIBA Under-18 Americas Championship Basketball.